of conversation for a long time about mobility, but in Australia we of course have a different kind of challenge to mobility, because if you ask an American artist, will you come to Australia this year? Oh, but it's so far. And we say, but we go there all the time, it's just the same distance for us. We have particular difficulties, and our difficulties are not limited just to the geographical. We know that we had an artist to come from Myanmar, but the visa didn't come through, and so we didn't have that person, mainly for lateness, but there are often other reasons. Australia faces particular challenges, and I think still high on the agenda at the Australia Council is how to make sure that when Australian artists are of interest to other countries, to Asia or to the Americas or to Europe, how do we make sure that they have the funding to be able to get them there, to show how well they are. Even in Australia, I think all the Australian artists in the room would agree that we don't even get to see enough of each other's work. For somebody in Perth to see the work of somebody in Sydney is very, very difficult. And so meetings for us have become very important.
Yeah. And I must say also, the fight never ends, because also in Europe we really need to continue fighting for that mobility and that support for mobility, because as you are well aware, there's a lot of nationalistic tendencies growing up and populist tendencies growing in the different countries. And of course, I forgot, Anna from Hungary has given a very good example of that yesterday. But so the fight never ends. So we also, it's not all roses in Europe either. We have to continue to fight for the support for mobility as well.
Well, we love the power and the fight of dinosaurs. Thank you, Hilda.
Thank you. You get a big hand.
The conception and the design of the lab, which immersed so many of you in so many enjoyable works, was all really a lot of work by Stephen Armstrong. Stephen, come up here and tell us how it all went from your point of view.
Great, thanks very much. One of the reasons that I do what I do is to hang out with you. I haven't actually spent 2 weeks with a group of artists for about 6 months. I work with clip17, my collaborator, and it's amazing, and I'm sort of in a building where there are lots of artists doing what they do, usually in dressing rooms or on stages, but it's taken 6 months to organise to spend 2 weeks with you, and it was worth every day of it. The lab was an open-ended experiment. Would love to do it again. It took all of my program's resources to do it this once, so I'm going to have to work really hard. Otherwise, we're going to be in that situation